Still here. Interesting. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Gabriel Pujroy, saludo desde Tampa. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in, man. We got some great boxing content for you guys this morning. We delivering a healthy dosage of sweet science. Take my word for it. I'm Jay Smith, and I'm about to give it to you guys. Check it, man. We're gonna talk about. You guys know we talk about all the fights, everything that's going down in boxing, but we're gonna kick this thing off, this episode, with Jerome Ennis, who's gonna be making his debut in the 154 division, and Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora. We know what that fight is about. We have to talk. These are the two fights that need to be addressed. They're taking place next month. We have time. We're gonna make some predictions. I'm pretty sure everybody wanna vote for the favorites. Everybody wanna say the favorite is gonna win. Do the underdogs stand a chance? Toy Mafia, salute my brother. Bam, Superman in the building, my brother. Ernest Morales. Puerto Rico in the house. Oh, Puerto Rico. Oh, that's you my next door neighbor, my G. I can almost see Puerto Rico from right here from my third floor. Let me see. Well, I can't see Puerto Rico, but y'all over there right there. It's right there. Like a 30-minute plane flight. My peoples. Next month, we have these two fights. And I wanted to talk about them because both of them have an interesting storyline. The first one that is going to take place next month is Jerome Ennis versus... You guys been here long enough. You guys know that I don't like to mispronounce names or say the wrong name. I don't like to do that. So let me look for my brother's name, and then we can say his name correctly, right? I know his last name is Lima, but I don't know his full name. You guys know Lima's full name? Hold on. I see everywhere just the last names. Hold up, bear with me, my people. Here we go. So Jerome Ennis is gonna fight Wisma Lima, who's 14-1, right? And it's an interesting option because we all know that there was a possibility that Boots could have fought Virgil Ortiz. And I know a lot of us wanted to see that fight. A lot of us want to see Boots and Virgil. And opinions seem to be divided right down the middle. Some people's like, nah, Virgil's going to beat him up. Virgil's going to knock him out. And then there's people that's like, nah, Boots going to make him look easy. Boots going to smoke. It's like there is no middle ground. If you're on one side, you're like, nah, he got him. And if you're on the other side, yeah, he going to cook him. But Boots chose to go get that tune-up. And apparently I don't know if he's going to get one or two tune-ups because supposedly they have a verbal agreement in place where he is going to fight Virgil Ortiz early next year. This fight is happening in October, so maybe Virgil's next. Maybe not. We don't know. But Wisma Lima, he's a fighter. Honestly, I've seen the highlights. He's not a fighter who I've tracked like that, who I follow like that. I can't, I'm not going to sit here and count like, oh, yeah. No, my people. Wisma Lima, this is going to be the first time that I see him, in a full fight. And to me, really is hard to formulate an opinion on a fighter based on the highlights alone. Because, come on, the highlights usually they're there to make you look good, to show you doing your thing, right? You got to see a whole fight so that you could look at the little mistakes or the little flaws that you have within your game. So a lot of us are gonna see Wisma Lima for the first time. I never seen him before. So I can't tell you how good he is. I can tell you he has a record of 14-1 with 10 stoppages. So he got popped. He's from Angola, by the way. So, being a fighter from Angola, I'm pretty sure, look, when I look at the names, a lot of the names of fighters, well, there isn't anybody there that I know, but there's also names of fighters where, they're in countries that they're not fighting on TV or you don't have access to watch them fight. So we don't know, but I could tell you this about Wisma Lima. Check this out. And I'm looking at it. His last opponent was Shervatai Koopman, and he was 15-0. Wisma Lima stopped him in round number 9. His opponent before that one, Sudek Singh Bhatti, he was 19-0. That went the distance. Lima beat him by unanimous decision. His opponent right before that one, Haro Matevosian, 18-0. And Wisma Lima stopped him in round number 10. So basically, my peoples, his last 3 opponents been undefeated. The one before that one, Arai Marustan, 14-1. He beat him. And then the only opponent to defeat him was back in 2023, Aaron McKenna, who was 16-0 himself. That fight went the distance. So this guy, Wisma Lima, who's going to be fighting Boots, he's been fighting some good opponents. And I mentioned this before, my peoples. Sometimes we think because a guy is not famous or because we don't know him, automatically he's a nobody, he's a bum. But it's not really like that. So look, that's Wisma Lima right there, my people. When I look at his resume, and let me show you something, guys. I want to show you something that you need to consider. As you guys know, I'm an analyst. I analyze the data. I'm looking at everything. So I'm going to tell you how I know that this guy can fight, Wisma Lima. And I'm not saying he's going to beat Jerome Boots Ennis. All I'm saying is he can fight. He can fight. And I'm going to prove it to you that he can fight. And for those of you who don't know, you're about to learn something new. Watch this. This is Wisma Lima, the guy fighting Jerome Boots Ennis, right? He's the tune-up fight. You never heard of him, right? We never heard of him. We don't know him. He's from Angola. He's fighting in places, small venues probably, and not televised fights or televised in his country. We don't know him. But watch this. This is the first thing where you don't know a fighter. Or let's say you hear about an undefeated fighter from another country. Look up his box rec and check this out. Look at his star rating. You see his star rating? He got 5 stars. Now, he's only 14-1, and he got 5 stars. If this is something you know about, you could find fighters that are 25-0 with 2 stars. 25-0 with just 2 stars. Why do he got 5 stars at 14-1? Because he's been fighting highly ranked opponents. He's been fighting good boxers and beating them. Now, I'm making an assumption, right? But then I look at the resume. Last opponent, 15-0. The one before that one, 19-0. The one before that one, 18-0. The one before that one, 14-1. And then the one before that one who beat him, 16-0. So what I'm trying to tell you, my people, Wisma Lima, we may not know him, but he ain't no bum. That's all I'm telling you. These are the type of guys that could come out of nowhere and have you like, oh, what happened? Or even in a loss, his stock goes up because everybody's impressed. Like, oh, this guy just came out of nowhere and put bulls in a dogfight through hell to get that W. So all I'm saying is, my peoples, Wisma Lima is not a fighter to be slept on. Whenever you see a guy, if we don't know him, he's not on TV like that, he's not a star. Whenever you see them 5 stars in that rating, in that box rec rating, just know that he's been fighting good opponents. He's been fighting good opposition. Let's not allow social media to confuse us into thinking that the only great fighters, the only top level fighters are the ones we see on TV. There's a lot of guys out there who just haven't made it to TV, who are nice. So we're going to find out what Wisma Lima's about versus Jerome Boots Ennis. But based on what I've seen, I don't look at the highlights. That's not enough for me. But based on what I see in the box rec, the opponents that he beat, his rating, I know that this guy can fight. And he's in his division. He's a 154-pounder. He a 154-pounder. He's fighting the guy moving up. I want you guys to consider this, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 out of Wisma Lima's last 5 opponents were undefeated. Now, I gotta say, his opponent with the most wins is Haro Matevosian, and he's 18-0. Boost is 34-0. So obviously, Wisma Lima never faced nobody with the type of in-ring experience that Jerome Boots Ennis has. And that right there, I'm not even bringing up the skills, the, southpaw, orthodox power, footwork. I'm not even bringing up all of that. I'm just saying, the experience is a lot. It's a big difference. Boots is going to be fighting, and he already has 34 fights. And Lima is going to be, this is his fight number 16. Ernest Morales. But those were impressive records. But who are they? I looked at the records, and not calling him bum, but we'll see. Anxious to see. So Ernest Morales. So this is how I'm answering the question to you, right? I don't know who they are because they're fighters who are fighting in different countries that, it's hard for us to track these guys. But when you see those 5 stars, it tells you that those are ranked fighters. Not just ranked fighters no, highly ranked fighters. For you to get to 5 stars, you have to be some good fighters, bro. So that's the thing. Who are they? You're right. We don't know them. But just because we don't know them, don't confuse that with them not being nice. Because just last year, at some point, we didn't even know Bakra Mortasalier. We didn't even know him. And then the guy came out of nowhere and absolutely pulverized Tim Tszyu. The beating of a lifetime. And we never even heard of him. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you see those 5 stars, don't dismiss a guy just because we don't know him. He's been fighting some good opponents. He's been in the ring with undefeated guys. He can fight. Jay Smith dressed like a Turk bag. Feeling like $1 million. Good morning, my guy. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. Jay Will. I'm going with Lima fight. But after that, we need the real monster. Not another tune-up. European Pierce. Salute, salute, my brother. So look, I gotta say, man, I think that there is a possibility for another tune-up because they've always floated around the two tune-ups and then Virgil. But I'm also hopeful because remember they said that Virgil versus Boots happens early next year. Well, this his next fight is in October. The year's about to be over, November, December. But are they gonna try to do another tune-up and then fight Virgil? Because then that wouldn't be early in the year. That would be mid-year. So that's why I think maybe they're just gonna do one tune-up and Virgil's next. That's what I'm hoping for. Ernest Morales, Jay, been seeing many with 5-star that were of little skills. Can you point some out? Point two out. Just two. I'm interested in seeing two guys with 5 stars and also little skills. I'm interested in seeing it. Point two out. And I'll YouTube it right now. And we'll see video footage on them. I will say Jerron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. That's a big fight. And in a way right now, the fact that Boots chose not to take that fight, I think financially and business-wise and as far as fan interest in the fight, is going to prove to be a good decision that he didn't take the fight. Because now it creates more of a buzz. Remember, they're young. These are not two guys, in their 30s that we're like, oh, they need to hurry up and fight. They're both in their 20s. So as of right now, we already know that Boots has a fight coming up. And let's see. Let's see if we can finally get Jerron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. We've been talking about that fight, if you think about it, since they was both at the welterweight division. The debate, the trash talking, the back and forth, it's been nonstop. Eugene Pearson, I hope Jerron gets knocked the F out. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that your hopes are going to be dashed, to be honest. Because Boots is a very special fighter. I know that, like I said, man, Lima can fight. And I know that he's going to be there, to win. He's not there to lose. He's not there like I'm just happy to be here. Lima's a guy who's there to win. Ernest Morales. What's up, my brother? I'm waiting for that 5 stars guy with the little skills. I'm holding you accountable for that one. It should have been, if you've seen many of them, it should have been super easy to find. And I would expect it for you in 30 seconds. Bam, bam, drop a couple of names. So I'll be like, bam, okay, let's take a look at it. But I will say, Eugene, Jerron Boots Ennis, the odds of him getting knocked out, nah, man, it's hard. It's hard to see that happening. So, you can hope for that. Just don't expect it, my guy. Superman. He's there to be hit. And that's probably a bad thing. See, this is what you don't understand. Jerron Boots Ennis has one of the best defenses in boxing. He chooses to exchange to make the fights exciting. This guy has the ability to turn into the Matrix and be unhittable. I've seen him do it. He does it when he wants to. It's kind of like Crawford. You see how people were saying he's there to be hit, and he gets hit a lot, and look what happened. That didn't help Canelo out. Showed up with a game plan and whooped Canelo ass. So, Ernest Morales, the carpenter, that Shaq, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm completely lost about a carpenter. But again, my peoples, I think that Lima is a good fighter who's gonna be there to win. He's gonna put up. It's like this other guy who he gave Boots a really good fight. Even Karen, the first time they fought, he gave him a good fight. The second one was good, but the second one, I think Boots dominated him more. That first fight, though. So again, styles make fights. Let's see what Lima brings to the table, and also let's see if Boots is gonna carry that power to 154. Let's not make assumptions, my peoples. Don't make assumptions. You know why? Because I've seen fighters who had power, moved up one weight class, and that power was completely gone. Gone, 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 gone. So we gotta see, if Jerome Boots Ennis is gonna move up and still be able to knock guys out at 154. I think he should. He's a big guy. Boots a big dude. Even at 154, he's a big dude. Let's see. Is he gonna get a stoppage in his debut at 154? Or that's it. We're gonna stop seeing knockouts and start seeing Boots outboxing people. Superman, Lima, the second one. No way, Smith. Let's see, man. Let's see how this fight is gonna play out. And then, because that's earlier in the month, then we have Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora. My peoples. My peoples. That's a fight that is definitely gonna be more interesting than a lot of people think. I'm hearing way too much. Oh, Keith gonna get washed. Fundora gonna make it look easy. But damn, people really disrespecting one time like that. They forgot. They forgot about one time. They really just writing him off. Like Keith is 50 years old. I'm just gonna remind you that he has one loss in his entire professional career, and that's to one of the greatest fighters of this era and of all time in Manny Pacquiao. So why we acting like Keith Thurman is out there losing to nobody? He's got 5 losses in a row, been inactive, like Keith Thurman being disrespected? So, yes, Sebastian Fundora is supposed to be the favorite. Of course, he's supposed to be. But my peoples, to say that Keith is just gonna get washed when we never seen him get washed, that's crazy. You ever seen Keith get washed? He lost by split decision to a Hall of Famer, to a first ballot Hall of Famer. Well, future first ballot Hall of Famer. Superman, we gave up once upon a time. On Once Upon a Time, Ernest Morales. I believe that the carpenter that fought Shaq had 5 stars. But my brother, I want you to listen to this. You say you've been seeing a lot of people. And from a lot of people, you believe that the carpenter that fought Shaq, you're not even giving me a name, bro, so I could look it up. Many people, I would have thought that you would have have 5 names ready to go for me. Bam, 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 look at all these people with 5 stars, and I would have been like, damn, it's true. But you're telling me one guy that you're not even naming a name that I can't just, like, I'm going to Google the guy who boxed Shaq. Armor G, what's up, How old are you? 47 years old, my brother. Raw Dog, who you picking, Fundora or Keith? Nah, I got Fundora winning this fight. But I will say, it's going to be a tough one. Keith Thurman can fight. And we might see a different brand of boxing from Keith Thurman. Why do I say that? Look at his last fight. Of course, it wasn't, a world-class caliber fighter. Faced a young opponent without championship experience. But Keith Thurman was explosive. He was fast. He was sharp. Counter-punching was crazy. And he absolutely destroyed his opponent. And he said, you're going to see that version of Keith Thurman again. I kind of got away from that. I lost that hunger where I was just trying to outbox people. trying to But I'm gonna get back to knocking people out. So Keith Thurman, he got a chip on his shoulder, and people don't realize it. This guy was a world champion, and he only got one loss to a great fighter. And in his mid-30s, I promise you that right now, he has that chip on his shoulder to want to get back up there, to prove to everybody that I could do it again, that I could be a world champion again. So guess what? He's going to be in the best shape of his life. He's going to be the faster guy in the ring. He's going to be the guy who's going to be faster on his feet. He's gonna present some problems for Fundora. Raw Dog, Lubin and Virgil. I got Virgil winning a good fight. Lubin is gonna give him a good fight, but Virgil, I think, is gonna pick him apart. Superman, Jay Smith. How long have you let your ex boil, and on what level of heat? Huh? RJ, one time stops fake Dora. Why would you say fake Dora though, man? Come on, bro. Fake Dora? A guy who's a unified champion, a guy who's been accomplishing? Come on, bro. Sebastian Fundora is no joke. No joke. Matter of fact, dare I say, he is the guy at the 154 division. He's the guy. You're gonna have to dethrone him. So I don't know what you find fake about that, bro. Tank making easy work of Jake Body. Come on, bro. That's an exhibition fight. That's an exhibition fight. I don't know what easy word you're talking about. That's a show. It's for entertainment purposes. It's not a real fight. Eugene Pearson. I have Keith Thurman getting knocked out, bro, respectfully. We shall see. We shall see. It can happen. It can actually happen. I'm not saying that it can't. But while they're fighting, Keith is going to put up a good fight. And it's going to be competitive. And he's going to win rounds. The notion that he's just going to get washed, you can forget about that, man. We ain't never seen Keith Thurman get washed. Don't expect to see it. You ain't going to start seeing it now. Raw Dog, Fundora, a monster. Of course. Sebastian Fundora, come on. He's the guy at the 154 division. He running the show right now. You got to go through him. RJ, he a weight bully. He too tall. That's why I call him that. How, you're looking at him being too tall, but you're not looking at him being how skinny he is. So based on that, should Ryan Garcia move up to, I don't know, heavyweight? Come on. RJ, the Dora needs to be fighting the Mexican monster. Oh my goodness, damn, how many weight classes? From 154 to 175? Ernest Morales. Who you know my position on Keith. His last fight was set up. Honestly, got tired of his announcing his many comebacks. But he did come back, and that was a few months ago. So he's fighting. He's active. He's active. Superman. When you boil your eggs, how many minutes you take? Fundora is getting. Superman, what's up with the comments about the eggs in the stove? What do we got going on? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Okay, I'm gonna bring you back. What's up, Superman? What's up with the comments about the eggs, man? What's going on? Talk to me about that. RJ, but I didn't know Fundora was scared of being great. I don't know what you mean that Fundora was scared of being great. Like, what are you talking? He is being great. He's unifying titles in his division. That is being great. What are you talking about? Beat a champion, beat another champion, now holds 2 titles. I think that's what being great is about. You confused, RJ? Are you subscribed to the channel? Because if you're not, you need to subscribe. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you boxing. I'm going to school you so you can learn what it is about. That's actually what he's accomplishing. Benjamin, hello, sir. How you doing? Benjamin, I want to be a boxer one day. So I suggest you go to a boxing gym, brother. Raw Dog, just boil them for like 10 minutes, bro. Like, you're really trying to boil an egg? Like, you really want... I'm thinking well, it is breakfast time. I guess you probably really are, I guess. I'm going to take your word for it. 10 minutes, that's good. That's a good choice. I don't want the super, stiff eggs. Benjamin, Alexander Usyk is great. That's a fact. That is 100% factual information. Alexander Usyk is one of the greatest fighters of this era. And that's it. There's no getting around it. He's the greatest heavyweight of this era. In the heavyweight division, this is the Usyk era. So, but think about it. Even Alexander Usyk has said that Terence Crawford is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And he said this before Crawford beat Canelo. People are upset. People cannot handle that Terence Crawford is now the face of boxing. That hurt. That cut deep in a lot of people's soul to see that. Side, Usyk and Bud era. I said, this is it right here. This is it. But the face of boxing is Terence Crawford, and you're gonna see, you're gonna see him in shows, movies, TV endorsement. You're gonna see him in all type of stuff, and this hurts a lot of people. Imagine if you've been hating on Crawford for years and years. He ain't fight nobody. He ain't beat nobody. He ain't done nothing. You saying all this stuff, and now the guy's the face of boxing. I will be mad at him too. Eugene Pearson. I just think Keith Thurman too old, and he's going up against a monster. Nah, he's in his mid-30s, bro. In his mid-30s. People thought Crawford was too old. Look what he did to Canelo, man. Made him look easy. Ernest Morales, did Keith's last opponent have 5 stars? Honestly, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Side. Terence Crawford, the GOAT. Benjamin, I was upset that Canelo lost. But Bud was clearly the better boxer. But I think Canelo went for it like a warrior. Bud deserves his greatness. Look, Benjamin, I agree with you 100%. Canelo not only gave it his all, but he took that loss with grace. He actually said, look, I lost to the better fighter. I tried, I gave her everything, my body wouldn't go. Why? Because he was in there with someone who was a gear faster than him. Man, listen, I spent 3 months trying to tell you guys. This is what was going to happen. This was going to be the outcome. Oh, Jay, you don't know shit about boxing. This weight class is for a reason. He's too big. Crawford is not going to be able to handle the power. 3 months ago, I told you guys that there wasn't going to be a difference in power like you think it is. That there wasn't going to be a difference in size like you think it is. You don't know what you're saying, Jay. And now what people got left? Excuses. That's it. What more you going to have left? RJ, all the dumbasses betting against Haney, watch he boxes the shoulders of Norman. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a good fight. In the beginning, when they announced it, I was like, man, listen, Norman is going to knock Haney out. Norman is just so strong, so fast, athletic. But then, man, I seen Haney. He looking strong, man. He looking big and strong, because that was part of it too. Like, he going to the welterweight division, but he's looking good. He's looking sharp, strong, like he always does. So I think the jump in weight is not gonna slow him down. It's not gonna have an effect on him. He's still gonna have that athleticism. And now it's like I'm right down the middle, because it's hard to go against Brian Norman Jr. For me, at least. For me. You know why? Because he has the athleticism to stay in front of Devin. You saw that last fight with Jose Ramirez? Devin Haney boxed him easily. And a lot of people criticize him for that. Oh, no, he was running the whole fight. That was a great way to fight. He just came off of getting pummeled by Ryan Garcia. Even though it was a year, but he got pummeled in his last fight. You don't need to get pummeled again and take damage. Use the footwork. But Jose Ramirez is a flat-footed fighter. So that's why you're going to dance circles around him. You're not going to do that on Brian Norman Jr. He got the athleticism and the footwork to stay right in front of you and make you fight. That's why Vasil Lomachenko and Devin Haney played out the way that it did. Many felt like Lomachenko won that fight, including myself the first time I saw it. Then after I saw it a few times, I kind of like, damn, man, those body shots from Haney, those counter, boom, to the body, and maybe I gave Lomachenko some rounds that Haney could have got too. But I bring that fight up because Lomachenko had the athleticism to stay in front of Devin, and the footwork, of course, and he forced Devin Haney to fight. You didn't see Devin Haney dancing circles around Loma. That's it. He had to fight him. But that shows you the dog that he got in him. If you're gonna chase me around, I'm not gonna shell up. I'm not gonna try to evade you. I'm gonna stand my ground and fight you. You're nice at cutting the ring. Okay, we're gonna fight. I'm gonna use my footwork, but we're gonna fight. So I think Brian Norman Jr. has the skill set to turn it into a fight. It's gonna be very hard to dance circles around. It's gonna be hard. This guy has the athleticism and the size to make it a fight. RJ, Bill Haney, funny as hell. He know Dev gonna move around. Bill Haney punking everybody. Listen, man, ever since, because it's like, that was a calculated move, in my opinion. Bill Haney wasn't like that. If you go way back, Bill Haney was a very quiet guy. And the way he spoke, very humble, and didn't even. And then I think he came up with this character, this new version of Bill Haney, that he's in front of the camera, he cursing people out, he's super active on social media. That's a character that he made up. That's not Bill in real life. He made up a character which you could either love or you could either hate. And a lot of people don't like Bill, but I could tell you one thing about him. He's done an amazing job of promoting his son. Like him or not, whether you like him or not, think about how much Devin Haney has accomplished with his father pushing his career. Youngest undisputed male champion in history. Multiple division champion, unified champion. One of the biggest stars in boxing. Devin Haney's one of the biggest stars in boxing. He's one of those guys. All behind Bill Haney pushing him, promoting him. So whether you like Bill Haney, you don't like Bill Haney, you got to respect the job that he done with his son. And he a great father. Think about this. Bill Haney was a street dude. Don't forget about that. Bill Haney was a street guy, making street money, making big money, balling out of control, Rolls Royce, all that. And he left all of that to push his son's career. Because he knew, if I stay in this life and I put my son in that path, one day he gonna be an amateur boxer and the feds or somebody gonna bust my door down and I'm going to jail for 20 years. And he gonna go at it alone for his boxing career. Or he gonna quit. So Bill Haney changed his whole life around to push his son. And to make sure that he get him to that level of greatness. And that's exactly what they accomplished. Let that sizzle in your spirit, bro. Bill Haney is an amazing father. Shaggy, happy Wednesday, my G. Let's talk about boxing. The Hydro Grind, Al Booger. How in the world will Lubin beat Ortiz? Nah, man. Ortiz gonna beat him up. Lubin can fight. I respect him. Ortiz gonna beat him up. But again, my peoples, Bill Haney should not be disrespected. The trash talking is cool. Because in boxing, trash talking is a part of the sport. We got to do it. If there's a reason to cook him, we got to do it. He is chef himself. He stay cooking people. So I'm happy to say, Bill, you know ya duck Shakur. And he know it's true. But as far as the job that he's done as a promoter to promote his son, Bill Haney's been, and not just to promote his son, to raise his kids. Bill Haney's a great father, bro. You don't see Devin getting in trouble. You don't see Devin going to jail. You don't see his other kids. You see his other kids, younger kid playing tennis and shit. You gotta respect. You gotta respect someone who takes his kid and builds him up into a great in his field. That's exactly what Bill Haney did with his son. Not only that, he changed his own life around to accomplish that feat. How many street dudes end up pulling off greatness? How many guys who was in the street hustling end up achieving in a corporate level, achieving in an athletic level? That's what Bill Haney did. So, if anything, you gotta say salute to Bill Haney. We're gonna trash talk and all that, but don't confuse the trash talk with the real talk. Bill Haney's a great father and a great promoter. Look at the results. They right there. The hydro grind. Only bad thing as a father I can say about Bill is that he didn't stop the Ryan fight. Other than that, amazing work. So I, I it's hard for me to even talk about it just because I said the same thing. I felt like he should have pulled the plug on that fight. I even said, look, if my son was a fighter and I'm in that corner and he taking a beating like that, I'm not gonna let it continue. I don't care if he's gonna be mad at me. I don't care if he already told me not to stop the fight. I'm your father. Shut your ass up. I'm not watching you get beat up like that. I'm stopping it. But you also have to understand their point of view and their perspective. Like, Devin don't want to get stopped by Ryan Garcia. Bill don't want to say we got stopped by Ryan Garcia. They're in the same boat. I'm pretty sure they're in sync as to what they're doing as a team. So we may disagree, but they're a team and they've been doing it, succeeding as a team. So they trust each other. That's the path they took. Stack or starve. 100. Al Booger. The beatdown was crazy. I agree. He should have stopped it. But big props to Devin for fighting. A fighter's gonna fight. That's the one thing about fighters that there's no training on when it's time for you to stop or when it's time for you to just not fight anymore. You fight until the fight is over. Or until you get knocked out or until somebody pull the plug. You don't see nobody fighting in a fight training like, let me train on how to stop this fight on myself if I'm getting beat up. Pop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, let's stop it right here. Yo, I'm hurt. I got a headache. Hold on. Ain't nobody training to do that, right? And the thing about boxing, my peoples, I wish this changed. I don't know if it's ever gonna change, but I wish it did. Sometimes fighters are getting beat up, like they getting pummeled, and they quit. They're like, that's it, I'm done. And we always bash those fighters. Oh, he quit. He's a quitter. It's easy to bash those fighters, man, when you're watching on TV, when you're watching on your phone. Oh, yeah, he a quitter. But what if you was in the ring and you getting beat up and your brain is swelling up on the inside and you could die from this? Are you going to stay in the ring or are you going to keep fighting because, hey, the people, they're not going to like it and they're going to mock me, they're going to laugh at me? Guess what? Yeah, you are. That's the crazy part about it. You are. You don't want to be the quitter. You don't want to be the one who gave up. So now you're going to get killed in the ring. Is it really worth it to get killed? Remember, it's a sport, my peoples. Boxing is a sport. It's a business. They make money. People get killed because they can't say, no, I can't keep going. And I wish that part would change about boxing. Stays stack or starve. Yo, they definitely don't train to beat up, don't train to beat up like that. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. In boxing, boxing is a tough sport. People don't remember how many have died. How many die all the time. The other day, two fighters died on the same night, on the same card. Actually, I don't remember if it was on the same card. But two fighters died recently. Boxing is the sport where the most athletes die every year. RJ, Jay gonna die versus Tank. Letting Tank fight in 8 ounce. Nah, they fighting with 12-ounce gloves. I don't know where you got the 8 ounce from. They fighting with 12-ounce gloves. And it's an exhibition fight. I don't know why you believe that. It's an exhibition fight. They probably already got the script. How many punches each one is gonna throw per round. When you're gonna land with a good shot. When you're gonna block. They already know what they're gonna do, bro. Forget about anybody getting hurt. Rafael, 32. Jesus Ivan Mercado body was found in wrapped blanket in Mexico. Yes, it was on the same card in Japan. So Jesus Ivan Mercado, I feel bad about that, man. You always feel bad when something happens to somebody. But in his case, they found him close to the border, wrapped in that blanket. And they're saying it was the cartel that did it. Most likely, because I read the story on him, and he took some losses in Mexico, but apparently he was really good and just in a bad situation. And they moved him, I think, to Colorado or Arizona. I can't remember right now, to start training there. And now this happened. So I think it's possible that he or someone in his camp or someone in his family has something going on with the cartel, and that's how they pay the price. Because the cartel don't just do stuff like that to random people. They didn't just go get him. Oh, come on, boom. Something happened. Somebody was involved with them. Unfortunately, that's the way it ended up. Hugs, howdy, salute, bam. The Hydro Grind. They're actually saying that they're making it a real fight. Talking with the Florida Commission to make it official. Tank would have 8 ounce and Jake 10 ounce and weight limit 190. No, brother, you see, they slick. They trying to confuse you with that. Still an exhibition fight. They're saying that they have judges and that they're going to score it and that his hand is going to be raised. It's still an exhibition fight. That shit is not going in the box track. Don't let them confuse you. They're saying that's why they're bringing in the judges, to make it seem like a real fight. And we're scoring it, but it's not a real fight. There's nothing on the line here. It doesn't go in any record of nobody. So what's Tank going to be? 1-0 in exhibition fights? That's what you're going to be after this? How could it be real? Hugs. God bless. Salute. RJ. Cartel owned part of America. Ask Uncle Trump. Nah, I don't know about all that, bro. Stacks or Starve? Tank too little. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Tank fan. And I'm a Baltimore all day. But let's be real. So, Stacks on Starve, if we're going to be real, Tank is not too little. In fact, Tank is a weight bully. It's the other way around. He a weight bully. And I'm going to tell you why he's a weight bully. How old is Tank Davis right now? 30 years old. Now, how old he was when he moved to the 135 division? 25 years old. He's been in that division for 5 years. Now, take a look at what Devin Haney's done in the last 5 years in moving up. Take a look at Teofimo Lopez, what he's done in the last 5 years in moving up. They're not even 30 years old yet, and they're fighting divisions above Tank. Look at Shakur Stevenson. He's already moving to 140. He's 28. He's younger than Tank Davis. Yeah, Tank Davis keep clinging on to that 135 division. And you say, no, he's too small. He's too small. But guess what? The evidence don't support your claim. Tank be walking around at 170, bro. Even 180. What you mean he too small? The reality, if you want to keep it real, you said let's be real, so I'm gonna be real with you, brother. Tank has the athleticism to shrink himself down to 135, and he does it. But no, he's not too small. He a weight bully. He a guy who walks around in the 170s and just has the athleticism to bring himself down. And by the way, let me just point something out. Stack or starve. I said about 2 months ago, I said that Tank Davis was either gonna retire or have to move up in weight. Why? Because he's not gonna be able to keep making 135 anymore at 30 years old. I don't know how old you are, my brother, but think about how much your body weighed, your body type, your body frame when you was 25 and when you was 30. Your body changes. You don't have the same body from 25 to 30. Tank don't got the same body, but he's still making the same weight. He a weight bully. Don't make no mistake about it. He much stronger than everybody that he fights. He got a much wider frame than everybody he fights. Make no mistake about it, my guy. And when I said Tank Davis was gonna have to move up in weight because he's not gonna be able to keep making 135 at his age, people said the same thing you saying. Stack or starve. They were saying, nah, Jay, Tank is too little. He's never gonna move up. He can't be at 140 because he's too small. You wanna hear something funny though? The next day, after I said that he was gonna have to move up, the video's up, by the way. You know that you could look up the video when I said it and see the date stamp, so you know when I said it. The day that I said that, the following day, Tank Davis announced on Twitter that he was either gonna fight Manny Pacquiao or move up to 140. He's not doing either, but he's gonna fight Jake Paul where he could weigh whatever he wants. So my point to you is, my brother, while you thinking that he's too small period, this guy will never fight at 135 again. And I try to tell people that months ago. He's not too small. He's short. Don't confuse short with small, because Tank is built like a tank for real. He's not small. He's not a small dude at all. Rafael, who is tall, Barrera or Tank? Who is taller? Oh, are you talking about Marco Antonio Barrera? If you're talking about that, I think Tank will be maybe. Oh, they're about the same. They're about the same height. I think they right around the same. I don't know who's taller, to be honest. I don't know who's taller. But what you have to look at is who has the wider frame. Tank. If you're talking about Marco Antonio Barrera, Tank has 2 frames next to him. You know. So if you're asking who's taller, let me ask you a question, Rafael. Who's taller, Usyk or Ryan Garcia? Who's taller, Usyk or Ryan Garcia? That doesn't exactly mean that Tank should go to that Ryan Garcia should go to heavyweight, right? Usyk is taller than Ryan Garcia. You sure of that? All right. So let me get you. Who's taller, Usyk or Fundora? Usyk or Fundora? Go ahead. Fundora fights at 154. So since I put up a wrong example, Usyk and Fundora, there you have it. So Fundora is a lot taller. That doesn't mean that he could fight a heavyweight. Exactly. It don't mean that he could fight a heavyweight. Look at his frame. He's real tall, but he's very slim too. So Tank is short, but he's stocky. He got that wide frame. So he's not small at all. Z, you know everything about fighters, bro. Respect. I'm not going to say I know everything. I follow up. I'll give you an example. Lima, who's fighting Ennis at 154. I sense that he's a good fighter because I checked his resume. I did a little research, but I don't know everything about him. I never seen him fight, so I'm not gonna cap. But I know a few things here and there. I would say. Young Guns, Tank was smaller than Roach in his last fight. Tank weighed in at 133 last fight. That's the problem, Young Guns. You get it twisted. You think because somebody makes weight that's it, that they can't be a weight bully because they made weight. That doesn't mean anything. Trust me. If he could have, he would have went in exactly at 135. You know why he's way under? Because they put his ass in a sauna to burn fat. And they went over. That's why. Tank walk around weighing. You haven't seen Tank pictures? Look, man, look. How about I just show you pictures of Tank between fights when he not training? So you could try to convince me that he little. So you could try to convince me that he's small. How about we do that? Look. Because sometimes we use words, but there's nothing behind those words other than words. That's it. They don't really mean nothing. Watch this. Watch this. Let's look at Tank Davis in pictures between fights. And judge what we're looking at. To see how exactly we can say, no, Tank Davis, he little, he didn't weigh that much. And that's what I tried to say before, that he has the athleticism to make weight. But don't confuse athleticism to make weight with meaning that, he's small. Watch this. Damn, man, the sun is killing me over here. Young Guns, Tank was undisciplined before. Young Guns, but what you have to understand, you're saying that Tank was undisciplined, but that doesn't mean that your body is not what your body is. Your body is what it is, bro. Tank is not a small dude. Look. Look, and this is him in the gym. That's him in the gym. Does he look like a small dude to you? Look. Compare Tank. Young Guns, all you got to do is compare Tank body to other 135 pounders. Compare them. And see what he look like compared to them. RJ, look here, OG. I hope Jojo Diaz stop. Auntie Schofield, who got a clean put on him. Man, listen, I'm going to tell you like this. RJ. Floyd Schofield showed out versus Tevin Farmer. Because I was expecting him to win that fight. But in that explosive fashion, I was not expecting it, bro. Let me keep it 100. Floyd Schofield showed out. Because Tevin Farmer, he got a lot of mileage on him. He's been through a lot of wars. But even with that, Tevin Farmer can fight. He can fight. So for Floyd Schofield to absolutely destroy him like that, it tells you, man, he for real. He for real. If you didn't believe in him, you got to now. Rafael, Tank is still undisciplined. I mean, it's hard for me to say about Tank's discipline, but I do know that he ducked Lamont Roach. They didn't want that fight. They felt like if we fight Lamont Roach again, we might catch that L. And they decided not to. And by the way, my people, so everybody who say that Tank Davis chose the bag, that's cap. That's 100% cap. He could have fought Lamont Roach and then after fought Jake Paul. The date for the Lamont Roach fight was early this month. It was early this month. So he could have fought Lamont Roach and still fought Jake Paul at the end of the year. Same thing. They could have still did the same thing. He just skipped over Lamont Roach because they know what's up. They know why they didn't fight Lamar Roach. And I'll refer you guys to Jake Paul's interview right after the fight with Lamar Roach. What did Jake Paul say? I was supposed to climb the ring and call him out, and we was going to fight, but it was a draw. So we're going to wait for the rematch, and after the rematch, me and him is going to fight. There was a rematch date set for Tank Davis and Lamar Roach to fight. They had a date. And we saw what happened. They didn't even cancel the fight with Tank Davis and Lamar Roach. Did you see anything saying that that fight was canceled? No. My people, to those of you just tuning in, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Yo, enjoy your breakfast. This is not officially my breakfast, but I'm gonna enjoy this banana, a little potassium, while I politic with you guys. So enjoy your breakfast. If you're having it, if you're just waking up, salute, get dressed. We gotta get to work. It's actually a holiday here in the Dominican Republic, so I don't have to go to work. Thus, this episode of Boxing for Breakfast might be extended if we get into arguments up in here. If we go into trash talking mode, I don't know what's gonna happen. RJ, nah. Schofield, Duck Shakur, and my guy Abdullah from Cleveland. So, Abdullah Mason didn't fight Shakur, but guess what? I mean, not Abdullah Mason, Floyd Schofield, Duck Shakur, but guess what? How old is he? 23? 24? He's young. He don't gotta, at that age, you don't have to fight the best. Why? You don't have to. You're still being developed. Tay John, Floyd Schofield needs to earn respect back after that Shakur duck. I gotta say, he earned a lot of respect in the eyes of a lot of people with the way that he performed versus Tevin Farmer. That was a heck of a performance. You gotta give it to him, bro. Rafael, Crawford is the most disciplined fighter in boxing. We could say that right now. We can absolutely say that. Imagine going from people discrediting you, saying that you're not that good, that you don't put butts in seats, that you don't sell pay-per-views, that you ain't fight nobody, all these things, and you still become the face of boxing. You still get all the way to the top. Come on now. Come on, my people. All the way to the top just like that. Z, to be honest, I'm learning English. Watching you, my dude. Well, I'm glad you're learning, my brother. I speak very slow. I try to talk clearly. This is also a good channel to learn English. Vamos a aprender esta vaina, que esto es fácil. Rafael, Austin didn't look stiff against Farmer. Man, he looked real good. He looked real sharp. The footwork, the movement. Ooh, my peoples, look, we trying to be healthy out here. You know, this is the dragon fruit drink. You guys probably don't know this, but in Dominican Republic, we produce dragon fruit, right? So I'm gonna have, you know, this little wrap and this little dragon fruit, you know, which is gonna be served in my beautiful Boxing for Breakfast Box Center personalized cup. Somebody asked me, by the way, the other day if they could get these. Eventually, all Box Center stuff is gonna be available. I promise you. Working on the details, but trust me. And then you guys will send me your pictures and your videos and all that with your Box Center merch. RJ, he from DR, I think. If I'm not, no, well, he's half Dominican and half black. Or half Dominican, half Haitian. I'm not sure. Superman, the cup is fire. Appreciate it, my brother. My wife actually got this made for me. I'm gonna have to make a few more. It's the first one. Yeah, hell yeah. Boxing for breakfast, my peoples. Getting this healthy dosage of sweet science and this healthy breakfast. Because this right here, what you looking at, this is that wheat wrap. Whew, whew, whew. Holy crap. That melted cheese took me to another place. God dang. Ese queso derretido, more, me llevó a otro lugar. My peoples, I barely survived that one. Golly. We made it. You guys almost lost me. RJ, it's hitting like Tank will hit Jake liver. Nah, man, this thing hit me like Mike Tyson. Right in the kisser. But we good. We good, my peoples. We still talking boxing. Ain't nothing stopping me. Nothing could slow us down. Tay John, what do you want to see Boost do after his fight in October? I'd like to see him fight Virgil. Let's make it happen. Make it happen already. Fight Virgil. We've been asking for it for a couple of years already. Now I'm scared of this motherfucker. We've been asking. I think that's the fight to make. That's it. He's gonna fight now in October. Fight Virgil, I don't know, February, March. Make that happen. RJ, Mike is too strong, bro. You ever have boiling Kraft melted cheese? Just go all in your shit. You know what that feel like? For a brief moment, I thought I was somewhere else. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith. Good morning, Jay Smith. Let's go. Salute, my brother. You already know what it is, man. We talking boxing. Listen, Jerome Boost Ennis is making his debut in the 154 division versus Wisma Lima. I told you guys, look, I don't know Lima at all. I never seen some videos, but never seen a whole fight of his. I believe that he's a good fighter based on some of the research that I've done. I think he could make it interesting. He could be a dark horse. You never know. Let's see how Boots is going to look at 154. With the athleticism that he has, I expect him to be kind of like Crawford. That he moved up, still fast, still, active, agile. I expect that from Boots too. Will he carry the power, though, to that division? Will he be able to knock out his opponent in his debut in that division? I think it's going to be difficult. Listen, moving up, people don't understand how hard it is to move up to a division and knock somebody out in your very first fight there. Very difficult. You know why? Because now you're fighting somebody who's been getting hit by bigger guys than you. If, this guy fighting Boost, he's been getting hit by 154 pounders. You're moving up now and fighting there for the first time. If you don't bring up that power to that division, you're not going to hurt that guy with the same punches that you was hurting in your previous weight class. Jay just said at 5 in the morning in California, 8 in the morning in Dominican Republic, my brother. West Dustin, Boost Virgil is starting to feel like a super fight for serious boxing fans. Wes does it. I was just saying earlier that in a way, it's going to turn out to be a great decision for Boots not to have taken that fight. Why? Because this only made us anticipate it more, talk about it more. This is one of those fights that actually is marinating at the right time for it to happen at the perfect time. Because think about it. Now everybody's talking about, oh, Boost duck. Oh, Boost was scared. Oh, this and that. Now that brings another layer into the argument, into the conversation. And I gotta tell you, the winner, whoever wins that fight, they're gonna have to go see Fundora. It's the inevitable. You know that Boost want to clean out the division, right? You want to clean out. Well, if you want to clean out the division, if you want to try to become undisputed, you're gonna have to see Sebastian Fundora. So I think that fight is the inevitable. But first, you got to get past Keith, who people are underestimating, who people are disrespecting like Keith ain't nobody. Age 17, salute Jay Smith. Salute family. Bam. Ooh, fuck with the green shirt. We always gotta be different, my brother. You know how we do it. Tajon, do you think Johnny Beck has a chance against Crawford? If I'm not mistaken, I seen a video where somebody said that someone in Johnny Beck's team said that he's not ready to fight Crawford. That he's not ready for that. Ooh, my people, look at that. Look at that. You see that? Supposedly he's not ready to fight Crawford, they said. I don't know if that's real or not. But you guys know that Terrence Crawford is already back in training, right? This guy's back in the gym. Back in the gym. Go see if Canelo's back in the gym. That's the difference. The guy just won the biggest fight of his career. And like a week later, he was already back in the gym. That just tell you who Terrence Crawford is, man. He's that guy. Been that guy. Nobody, a lot of people didn't want to give it to him. He's been that guy, bro. Superman. Parade on Friday in Omaha. That's going to be exciting. I'm actually be tuning in to watch. Obviously, I'm not going to watch all of it, but I'm going to be tuning in. Watch Crawford celebrate with his peoples, man, with the people of his city. Because that's one thing, man. Sometimes you see that the little guy, and when I say the little guy, I mean the guy that's not from the big town, that's not from the famous places. Their whole town get behind him, and you see the love he gives. You see it. They've been showing love for Crawford over there. And Terrence Crawford always represented. Believe it, Terrence Crawford always represented the mean streets of Omaha. More. JJ said that has J Smith. Remember, I have 3 phones and I'm hitting the like button on them, so I can't even hit it once. JJ's in there, as you know, man. I always appreciate the love and support. Some people never hit the like button. You go in, and at 1 second in, you already hit the like button with your first phone before you already hitting the like with the other 2. So I really appreciate the love, my brother. Real talk. Agent 17. J Smith, I'm sparring an amateur boxer on Saturday. Hopefully, we get some work in. That's perfect. That's perfect. Try to get in a few rounds. And you have to know that if he is good, he's gonna put some hands on you. You can't get nice if you don't get hit, bro. Just know that. You know, I seen one of your videos where you're wearing your headgear and all that stuff. So if you're protected the way that you're supposed to with your headgear, with all your stuff, take some punches, get hit. You can't really learn how to slip a punch if you don't get hit with a punch. So look, now I'm gonna give you guys. I've been giving you J Smith and J Stradamus. Now I'm gonna give you Coach J. Let me give you Coach J real quick. Agent 17. It's important for you to understand that the mistakes you make when you're learning how to box is what's gonna make you nice. You cannot get nice without making mistakes. It's impossible. So here's what I mean. If you got a fight in front of you and you don't want to get hit with the jab, so you're running around, you're never going to learn how to slip a jab because you're running around or you're shelling up. But if you stand in front of that fighter and you watch him, bang! When he throws that jab and catch you, bang! You're going to be like, damn, he got me. But you saw the jab when it hit you. Then the next time around, he's going to hit you with the jab, bang! And after he hit you, you're going to try to slip it. But eventually, you get hit with a few jabs. There's going to be a jab coming. Then you're going to anticipate it. And you're going to slip it perfectly. Now you slip your first jab. It's like, oh, now I know. When that joint comes, pop, slipping it. But you'll become good at slipping that jab once a few of those caught you in the nose, in the mouth, in the forehead. You gotta eat that. If you don't eat that, you can't learn how to slip it. Simple as that. So don't be afraid to get hit. It's part of the game. But most importantly, your mistakes is what's gonna teach you. You don't make mistakes, you're not gonna learn. Simple as that. There you have it, my peoples. That's Coach J for you. JJ's in there has 23 likes. Let's get more. Damn, 23 likes is diabolical. Agent 17. Yeah, he's a bit of a jab merchant. I gotta be ready. The reason I bring up the jab is because in amateur boxing, that jab is always on fleek. And because it's only 2-minute rounds and it's less rounds, amateur boxers got a jab that be out there. I'm constantly trying to put it on you. So, but you gotta get hit. You gotta get hit. Simple as that. Never shell up. Never just go like this and try to block punches. See what's going on. Keep your guard, your high guard. That's the one thing I would tell you too, Agent 17. Keep that high guard. When you're fighting with somebody who you know you're overmatched, you know that they're better than you, keep your high guard. That'll give you an opportunity to block some punches at least. But if you want to be down here acting like you nice, you're going to be getting punched in the face repeatedly. JJ's in the house. You need to get hit to know if you can take a punch. And also to learn how to slip a punch. You don't slip a punch without getting hit. Because you don't know how to. To slip. Look, when you never boxed, And now that you're gonna be boxing and trading, people don't understand how hard it is to actually slip punches. They see fighters doing it, but they don't understand the science behind it. Slipping punches is not easy, my people, because for you to slip a punch, it means that you have to see it the very moment it starts going out, and you have to make a movement and get out of the way of a punch that's coming a lot faster than how you can move. You can't move. You can't move faster than the punch. You have to anticipate that trajectory and make it miss. That's not easy. Actually, very hard to do it. So when you see fighters slipping a bunch of punches, you're like, you gotta understand, this guy's nice. Everybody can't do that. That's why you see some fighters shell up. Pam, 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 pam. But if you're fighting somebody who's a lot more experienced than you at any level, oh, you better put that high guard up. You better be like this. Your jab, when you throw that jab out there, that thing better come right here. Because if you throw that jab and you go like this and bring it down here, guess what? There could be a hook coming right behind that jab. Boom. That's why you see guys go, boom. Get slapped with that lazy jab. Don't do that. Bring that jab right here, and keep that high guard. And that'll give you a chance to protect yourself better. Agent 17, yeah, I can't be like Canelo and drop my hands like he did against Bud. That's the one thing, man. When you watch boxing, these fighters at that high level do a lot of things that if you do, you're just getting punched in the face. And guess what? I'm going to give you an example, Agent 17. In my one professional fight, there was one moment where I put both of my hands down and I got punched in the face. The one time I did it. And you know why that happened? Because I did that in training. I did that in sparring. But in the real fight, I got punched in the face. Goofy as hell. So at that elite level, fighters do a lot of things that they can do because they're great. You try to copy what they do, you might get knocked out. When you see these fighters that can put their hands down and be like this, yeah, but go see the guys that try that shit and got boop and got put to sleep. Come on now. West does it. Coach J with the info. Trying to tell you, man. Hands down, man down. Keep them up, son. That's one of the best advices I could give you. Agent 17. The only thing I copy is Canelo's high guard. Yeah, that high guard, man. Jay Will, watching James Toney when he was right was a thing of beauty. Oh, man. James Toney, the way that he could slip punches right there at point blank range and counter punch with hard shots. Because that's the thing, too. That watching, you don't understand it if you never boxed. I can tell you this, guys. It's one thing to counter punch. Boom. Boom. And just arm punches. And it's another thing to counter punch with power. Like, boom. Boom. That's different. That's a different thing. And James Toney could counter punch you and stun you off of that counter. Like some of the guys of today, Tank Davis, Terrence Crawford. There's guys today that with a counter shot, they could really hurt you. People just don't appreciate what it takes to hurt somebody with a counter shot. That's not easy. JJ's in the house. Portuguese breakfast. Whoa. The C sounds like an S. Ooh. Linguiça. Linguiça, eggs, coffee, and toast. Whoa. You got the Portuguese breakfast going on over there. Enjoy, my brother. Que la aproveche, hermanito mío. Agent 17, let's go. Walmart. Walmart just sent me an email. I did an interview last night. Okay. Oh, I got hired. Overnight stocker. Salute, my brother. Get that money. Get that money, bro. Congratulations, my guy. And I'm gonna say this. I'm proud of you because you out there trying to get a job, trying to make your money, and people gotta support young men like yourself who's trying to do the right thing. You know, so many kids, so many young men doing, negative things to try to get money. The dreams of trying to get rich, doing stupid things, and you out there getting a job. So congratulations on landing that job. Make your money, brother. Make that money. JJ's in the house. Yes, Jay Smith, you said it correctly. Man, James Toney was a beast. A beast. Gotta respect him. Gotta do it. There's a lot of fighters who are very good when it comes to slipping punches. Because take a look at Mike Tyson in his younger days. Mike Tyson was a machine. On the inside, he was so fast. Boom, boom, boom. Mike Tyson was something else. Age of 17, yay. Overnight, I'll do Walmart, sleep some, and then do handyman and grass cutting with family, friend. So I'm chasing that dollar. Get that money, bro. Get that money. Brady, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr., another one, man. Special fighter. Roy Jones Jr. was like a Michael Jordan because he was so athletically gifted that he just made guys look like nothing. Guys who were good boxers, he made them look like nothing. Like they was average Joes. Jay is in there. With a job, lots of doors will open for you. That's a fact. That's a fact. And you start to meet new people. You start to be around different people, a different mindset. That's great. Raw Dog. I got a glove signed by Roy and Oscar. Both of them signed it? Whoa. Don't put that thing on eBay. Probably costs a pretty penny, but don't do it. Keep that. That's a good piece of memorabilia. You have two all-time greats, two Hall of Famers who signed the glove. That's fire. If you want to send it to me, you could do that. I'll display it right here. My peoples. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. You already know what it is. This is another episode of Boxing for Breakfast where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in, everybody who's always showing love, who's always supporting Jay Smith. My brother JJ's in their house, always in the building. Raw Dog, always showing love. I appreciate you, my G. And everybody else, man. Agent 17, Superman, man, y'all already know what it is. You guys know that Box Center is for you guys. Boxing for Breakfast is for you guys. For me, for those of us who love the sweet science, who want to talk boxing, who want to know what's going on, who want to actually have a meaningful conversation about the sport. We don't want to do conspiracies. We don't want to make shit up out of thin air. We ain't about that, man. We about the real stuff. The real deal Holyfield. The sweet science, the most beautiful sport that ever been, that is, that ever will be. Boxing. My peoples, I'm Jay Smith. I'm out of here. You already know what it is. Bam. Peace.